What if I told you this humble, everyday spice has been treasured for centuries, not just for flavor, but for the way it wakes up your blood, sharpens your energy, and even supports your most private strength as a man? And here's the twist. Modern science is finally catching up to what ancient wisdom has known all along. I've seen it firsthand in my 30 years of practice. Men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, walking into my clinic worried about slowing down, weaker circulation, fading stamina, that creeping loss of spark. And sometimes the solution isn't a complicated procedure. It's as simple as rekindling the body's natural rhythm. Now, I know what you might be thinking. If it's that simple, why haven't I heard of it before? Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore today. Because this little spice doesn't just help with blood flow, it can influence energy, stamina, even that quiet sense of masculine vitality that every man deserves to hold on to. So, pour yourself that cup of tea, because in just a moment, I'm going to tell you exactly what this spice is and why it may change the way you feel in the next hour. Before I tell you exactly what this spice is, I want to talk about something that many men over 60 quietly wrestle with and almost never say out loud. I've sat across from hundreds of men in my office, proud, capable men who look me straight in the eye and say, "Doc, I just don't feel like myself anymore." Maybe you know the feeling. You wake up, but it's not with the same spring in your step. Your energy takes longer to get going. Climbing a set of stairs leaves you a little more winded than it used to. A walk around the block feels more like a workout. And at night, well, the body you've known all your life doesn't always respond the way you want it to. It's frustrating. And here's the hard truth. It's not your fault. After 60, the body naturally changes. Testosterone levels drop. Blood vessels lose a bit of their flexibility. Circulation slows. The muscles that support the bladder and prostate weaken. And these changes don't just affect your body, they touch your confidence, your mood, even your relationships. I remember one patient, George, 72 years old, a retired engineer. He came in for a routine checkup, but I could tell something was weighing on him. Finally, he sighed and said, "Doc, I feel like I'm fading. Not sick, not broken, just less. But here's the good news, and it's the part that makes my job worth every long day. While these changes are a natural part of aging, they are not a life sentence. With the right habits, nutrients, and circulation boosters, sometimes as simple as what you put in your mouth, you can fire up that inner engine again. And in just a moment, I'm going to tell you about a spice that can help you do exactly that. But first, let's look at how ancient wisdom and modern science meet on this very subject. You know, one of the things I've always loved about medicine is that it's a bridge, connecting the old and the new. On one side, you have thousands of years of human experience, trial and error, passed down through generations. On the other, you have modern science, microscopes, lab tests, double-blind studies, confirming or sometimes disproving those ancient ideas. And when those two worlds agree, that's when I sit up and pay attention. In villages across India, in the markets of the Middle East, even in the spice routes of North Africa, there's been a quiet tradition among men. Chewing certain spices before long walks, before heavy work, or before moments of intimacy, not for taste, but for the way it made them feel. There's an old story from a friend of mine in Morocco. His grandfather, well into his 70s, would walk to the fields every morning before sunrise. Before he left, he'd take a small pinch of this spice, chew it slowly, and smile. When asked why, he would simply say, "It keeps the fire in my blood." Now, for years, modern doctors dismiss these rituals as superstition or old wives' tales. But recently, science has been catching up, and the evidence is hard to ignore. Studies now show that compounds in certain spices can help relax blood vessels, improve blood flow, and even support hormone balance. It turns out these men weren't chasing magic. They were using nature's chemistry long before anyone could name it. And in a moment, I'm going to reveal exactly which spice we're talking about. But before I do, let me take you into the heart of the matter. How something so small can have such a powerful effect on your body, even after 60. All right, you've been patient? Let's pull back the curtain. The spice I've been talking about is one you probably know well, clove. That's right, the same clove that's been sitting quietly in your spice rack, used in cooking, teas, and traditional remedies for centuries. Now, here's why I bring it up. Because clove isn't just a flavor, it's a natural powerhouse. Inside every tiny bud is a compound called eugenol. In plain English, it's nature's way of helping your blood vessels relax and open up. When those vessels open, your circulation improves. And that means more oxygen and nutrients flow to your muscles, your brain, and yes, even those private areas you've been quietly worrying about. Let me give you a picture. Imagine your blood vessels are like garden hoses that have gotten a little stiff and narrow over time. Water doesn't flow as well. Clove works a bit like turning on the pressure and loosening the hose at the same time. The result? Better flow where you need it most. In my practice, I've seen men chew a single clove and notice their hands feel warmer within 20 minutes. Some say they feel a gentle lift in energy. Others report a renewed sense of alertness, like someone quietly flipped a switch back on. And there's more. Clove has antioxidants that help protect your blood vessels from further damage, and it even supports healthy digestion, which plays a bigger role in overall vitality than most men realize. But here's the key. It's not about chewing cloves endlessly or treating them like candy. Used wisely, clove can be a safe, natural addition to your daily routine. So the question becomes, why does something so small, so ordinary, have such a powerful effect on a man's vitality after 60? That's exactly what we're going to uncover next. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by just how deep this little spice's benefits go. Now here's why I bring it up, because clove isn't just a flavor, it's a natural powerhouse. Inside every tiny bud is a compound called eugenol. In plain English, it's nature's way of helping your blood vessels relax and open up. When those vessels open, your circulation improves. And that means more oxygen and nutrients flow to your muscles, your brain, and yes, even those private areas you've been quietly worrying about. Let me give you a picture. Imagine your blood vessels are like garden hoses that have gotten a little stiff and narrow over time. Water doesn't flow as well. Clove works a bit like turning on the pressure and loosening the hose at the same time. The result? Better flow where you need it most. In my practice, I've seen men chew a single clove and notice their hands feel warmer within 20 minutes. Some say they feel a gentle lift in energy. Others report a renewed sense of alertness, like someone quietly flipped a switch back on. And there's more. Clove has antioxidants that help protect your blood vessels from further damage, and it even supports healthy digestion, which plays a bigger role in overall vitality than most men realize. But here's the key. It's not about chewing cloves endlessly or treating them like candy. Used wisely, clove can be a safe, natural addition to your daily routine. So the question becomes, why does something so small, so ordinary, have such a powerful effect on a man's vitality after 60? That's exactly what we're going to uncover next, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by just how deep this little spice's benefits go. So, why does something as small as a clove have such a big impact? Let's break it down. No complicated jargon, just the basics. Your body runs on blood flow. Think of your bloodstream as a delivery service. It brings oxygen, nutrients, and hormones to every single cell in your body. But as we age, the roads, your blood vessels can start to stiffen and narrow. That slows the delivery. Less oxygen gets to your muscles, less nourishment reaches your brain, and less blood flows where it's needed for intimacy. Here's where clove steps in. Inside each tiny bud is eugenol, along with other natural oils that act like gentle relaxers for your blood vessels. They help the vessel walls soften and open, allowing more blood to pass through with less resistance. Imagine you've got a clogged sink. You don't just turn on more water, you clear the blockage so the water can flow freely again. That's essentially what clove helps your body do, naturally. There's also another piece to the puzzle: inflammation. Many age-related circulation problems are made worse by low-grade inflammation in the blood vessels. Cloves' antioxidants act like little firefighters, calming down that inflammation and protecting those vessel walls from damage. And let's not forget, better circulation doesn't just mean better performance in one area. It can mean warmer hands and feet, more stamina for walks or workouts, sharper focus, and even better mood. Your body runs more efficiently when its engine, your circulation, is running smoothly. That's why in some traditional cultures, men would chew a clove before physical activity or before spending intimate time with their partner. They may not have known the chemistry, but they knew the result. Now, knowing all this, how do you actually use clove in a safe, effective way without overdoing it? That's exactly what we'll cover next. And trust me, a little goes a long way. All right? You now know why clove works. But like anything powerful in nature, how you use it makes all the difference. First, let's start with the simplest method. Take one whole dried clove, just one, and place it in your mouth. Slowly chew it until it softens, then let it rest between your teeth and cheek for a few minutes before swallowing. This slow release lets the natural oils absorb into your bloodstream through the lining of your mouth, where they can start working quickly. When should you take it? Many men like to have it in the morning to help wake up their circulation for the day. Others prefer chewing 120 to 30 minutes before physical activity, whether that's a walk, light workout, or intimate time with their partner. Important safety tips. Start with just one clove per day. It's potent, and too much can cause irritation to your mouth or upset your stomach. If you have liver problems, stomach ulcers, or are on blood-thinning medication, talk to your doctor before making this a daily habit. Avoid chewing cloves on an empty stomach if you're sensitive to strong flavors. It can feel intense at first. I had a patient, Robert, 68 years old, who started with one clove each morning. After a week, he told me, "Doc, I didn't realize how sluggish I'd been until I felt the difference. My morning walks feel lighter, and I don't need that extra cup of coffee anymore." That's the thing. Clove isn't a magic bullet. It's a gentle nudge to help your body do what it's already designed to do: circulate blood, deliver energy, and keep your manhood strong. Now, knowing how to use it is just step one. The real magic is in what happens when your circulation wakes up. And that's where the transformation begins. This is the part I love most, seeing the change in real men's lives. When you've spent decades as a doctor, you start to notice something. The biggest shifts don't always come from dramatic medical procedures. Sometimes it's the smallest daily habits that spark the biggest turnarounds. Take George, 72, a proud grandfather who used to love taking his grandkids to the park. But in recent years, he found himself saying, "Maybe another day, buddy." His legs would tire quickly. His energy just wasn't there. After starting with one clove each morning, he called me 2 weeks later. "Doc," he said, "I'm walking the kids again, and this time I'm keeping up." You could hear the pride in his voice. Then there's Samuel, 66, who came to see me about feeling old before my time. His hands were often cold, his mornings sluggish, and he avoided intimacy out of embarrassment. We added clove chewing to his morning tea ritual. Within 10 days, he told me, I didn't think a tiny spice could make me feel more like me again. His wife even noticed he was smiling more. And I can't forget Robert, who I mentioned earlier. He went from skipping walks to clocking 2 miles every morning, all because he felt lighter on his feet and warmer in his muscles. Now, am I saying clove will transform every man's life in exactly the same way? Number. But what I've seen is this. When circulation improves, it's not just your body that changes. Your confidence grows, your energy returns, you start looking forward to the day again. That's the real payoff. Not just stronger blood flow, but stronger you. But clove isn't the only natural ally you have. In fact, there are other powerful foods and habits that can work alongside it to keep your circulation and your manhood thriving well into your 70s and beyond. Let's talk about a few of them next. While clove can be a wonderful spark for your circulation, it's not the only natural tool in your corner. Think of it as part of a team working together to keep your blood flowing, your energy steady, and your manhood strong. Let me share a few of my favorite allies. 1. Beetroot. This humble root is loaded with natural nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide, a compound that helps open blood vessels and improve blood flow. You can drink beetroot juice, roast it, or blend it into a smoothie. Many of my patients notice more stamina within a week or two. 2. Pomegranate. Sometimes called nature's artery cleanser, pomegranate is rich in antioxidants that protect your blood vessels and improve circulation. It's especially helpful for men because it also supports healthy testosterone levels. A glass of fresh pomegranate juice or a handful of seeds a few times a week can make a noticeable difference. 3. Dark leafy greens. Spinach, kale, and Swiss chard are full of magnesium, which helps relax blood vessel walls and support healthy blood pressure. They're also rich in chlorophyll, which keeps your blood oxygen-rich. Now, here's the beauty of it. These foods aren't exotic or expensive. You can find them in most grocery stores, and they work naturally with your body. One patient of mine, Michael, combined one morning clove with a small beetroot smoothie and a spinach omelette for breakfast. Within a month, his walking pace had improved, his hands stayed warmer, and he said his old spark was making a comeback. Remember, the goal isn't just to fix a problem for today, it's to build a lifestyle that keeps your circulation strong for years to come. And with that in mind, let's bring this all together and talk about the simple, powerful steps you can start taking tomorrow morning. So, here's the takeaway. Aging may change the body, but it doesn't have to take away your vitality, your confidence, or your manhood. You've just learned how something as small as a clove can help wake up your circulation, bring warmth back to your hands and feet, sharpen your energy, and even give you a quiet boost in the areas that matter most. And it's not just the clove. You now know about other natural allies, beetroot, pomegranate, dark leafy greens, that can work with your body to keep your heart strong, your blood flowing, and your energy steady. The best part? These aren't complicated medical procedures or expensive supplements. They're simple, everyday steps you can start tomorrow morning. Here's my challenge to you. Starting tomorrow, add one clove to your morning routine. Pair it with a healthy breakfast, maybe some greens, maybe a beetroot smoothie. Do it for just 7 days, then pay attention. Notice if your hands feel warmer, if your walks feel easier, if your energy lifts in the mornings. And when you do notice the difference, I want you to share it with your partner, your friends, even in the comments here. You never know. Your story might be the encouragement another man needs to take back his vitality. Because here's the truth. At 60, 70, even 80, you are not done. Your best days aren't behind you unless you decide they are.